الكساء فقال عز وجل هم أهل بيت النبوة هم أهل بيت النبوة ومعدن الرسالة هم فاطمة وأبوها وبعلها وبنوها اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد فقال جبرائيل يا ربي أتعظن لي أن أهبط إلا الأرض لا يكون معهم سادسا فقال الله نعم قد أذنت لك فهبط الأمين جبرائيل وقال السلام عليك يا رسول الله يا العلي الأعلى يقرئك السلام ويخصك بالتحية والإكرام ويقول لك عزتي وجلالي إني ما خلقت سماء مبنياتا ولا أرضا مدياتا ولا قمرا منيرا ولا شمسا مضية ولا فلكا يدور ولا بحرا يجري ولا فلكا يسري إلا لأجلكم ومحبتكم وقد أذن لي أن أدخل معكم فهل تأذن لي يا رسول الله فقال رسول الله وعليك السلام يا أمين وحي الله إنه نعم قد أذنت لك فدخل جبرائيل معنا تحت الكساء اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد فقال لي أبي إن الله قد أوحى إليكم يقول إنما يريد الله ليذهب عنكم الرجس أهل البيت ويطهركم تطهيرا اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد فقال علي لأبي يا رسول الله أخبرني ما لجلوسنا هذا تحت الكساء من الفضل عند الله فقال النبي والذي بعثني بالحق نبيا واصطفاني برسالة نجيا ما ذكر خبرنا هذا في محفل من محافل أهل الأرض وفيه جمع من شيعتنا ومحبينا إلا ونزلت عليهم الرحمة ووفت بهم الملائكة واستغفرت لهم إلا أن يتفرقوا فقال علي إذن والله فزنا وفاز شيعتنا ورب الكعبة اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وقال النبي ثانيا يا علي والذي بعثني بالحق نبيا واصطفاني برسالة نجيا ما ذكر خبرنا هذا في محفل من محافل أهل الأرض وفيه جمع من شيعتنا ومحبينا وفيهم مهموم إلا فرج الله همه ولا مهموم إلا وكشف الله غمه ولا طالب حاجة إلا وقضى الله حاجته فقال علي إذن والله فزنا وسعدنا وكذلك شيعتنا فازوا وسعدوا في الدنيا والآخرة ورب الكعبة اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد
محمد جزاک اللہ برادر عالم آپ سلامت رکھیں انشاءاللہ میں درخواست کرتا ہوں تقی خان جو ہمیں نیو جرسی سے جوائن کر رہے ہیں کہ وہ اپنا کلام پیش کریں
انشاءاللہ
السلام علیکم آواز آ رہی ہے
السلام جی
السلام علیکم
سب سے پہلے تو میں حسن بھائی کا اور منتظر حق کا شکر گزار ہوں کہ انہوں نے مجھے اس لائق سمجھا کہ میں اس پروگرام میں آؤں اور اپنے آواز کے ذریعے تھوڑی سی خدمت کر پاؤں اور انشاءاللہ دعا یہی ہے کہ اس وبا سے جو بھی جہاں جہاں بھی مومن و مومنات مشکلات میں ہیں یا مریض ہیں وہ مکمل شفا کاملہ عطا فرما اور انشاءاللہ جلد سے جلد ہم یہ محفل اور یہ مجلسیں جو ہیں اپنے بارگاہوں میں کریں. اسی کے ساتھ ساتھ اپنا امام علی کے شان میں اور انہی کے لحاظ سے ایک سلام ہے, ایک سورہ فاتحہ. اٹھا کوئی جنازہ پھر سیدہ کے گھر سے اٹھا کوئی جنازہ، پھر سیدہ کے گھر سے حسرت برس رہی ہے، ایک ایک بامدر سے، اور یہ کس کو رو رہی ہے، زینب تڑپ تڑپ کر، یہ کس کو رو رہی ہے، زینب تڑپ تڑپ کر، جنت میں سیدہ نے چادر گرا دی سر سے، اٹھا کوئی جنازہ، پھر سیدہ کے گھر سے، اور ہے بلد آنکھ شاید آرام آ گیا ہے بلد آنکھ شاید آرام آ گیا ہے، مولا تڑپ رہے تھے 19 کی سحر سے، اٹھا کوئی جنازہ، پھر سیدہ کے گھر سے، اور زینب کے بازوؤں کو شبیر چومتے ہیں، زینب کے بازوؤں کو شبیر چومتے ہیں، کیا جانیے علی نے کیا کہہ دیا پسر سے، اٹھا کوئی جنازہ، پھر سیدہ کے گھر سے، اور قاتل کو اپنے ٹھنڈا شربت پلانے والا، قاتل کو اپنے ٹھنڈا شربت پلانے والا، بے چین ہو رہے ہیں خود زہر کے اثر سے، اٹھا کوئی جنازہ، پھر سیدہ کے گھر سے، حسرت برس رہی ہے، ایک ایک بامدر سے، اٹھا کوئی جنازہ، پھر سیدہ کے گھر سے، پر محمد و آل محمد صلوات، محمد و آل محمد
محمد محمد. جزاک اللہ السلام
جزاک اللہ.
برادر سعید عذاب جی سے کہ اپنا سلام پیش کریں.
پر محمد و آل محمد صلوات.
اللہم صلی علی محمد و آل محمد.
اللہم صلی علی
محمد و آل محمد.
اللہم
اللہم صلی علی محمد و آل محمد.
سورہ فاتحہ. اٹھ گیا باپ کا سر سے سایہ، اٹھ گیا باپ کا سر سے سایہ، آج زینب یتیم ہو گئی، آج زینب یتیم ہو گئی، رو رہے ہیں یہ محراب و منبر، کہہ رہے ہیں یہ جبریل رو کر، ابن ملجم نے یہ ظلم ڈھایا، آج زینب یتیم ہو گئی، عرش پر مصطفیٰ رو رہے ہیں، سب کے سب انبیاء رو رہے ہیں، ہے فرشتوں میں کوہرام برپا، آج زینب یتیم ہو گئی، گھر میں فرش عزا بچھ گیا ہے، خانہ رب میں ماتم بپا ہے، سوگ میں ڈوبا گھر سیدہ کا، آج زینب یتیم ہو گئی، اٹھ رہا ہے علی کا جنازہ، ایک محشر کا عالم ہے برپا، سب کے ہونٹوں پہ تھا ایک نوحہ، آج زینب یتیم ہو گئی، اٹھ گیا باپ کا سر سے سایہ، اٹھ گیا باپ کا سر سے سایہ، آج زینب یتیم ہو گئی، درود بر محمد و آل محمد،
اللہم صلی علی محمد و آل محمد۔
سورہ فاتحہ۔ أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين ثم الصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين على اللهم صل على محمد وعلى محمد الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا وعظيمنا وحبيب قلوبنا وشفيع نفوسنا أبي القاسم مصطفى محمد
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد
وعلى أهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين والغر الميامين الحمد لله الذي جعلنا من المتقسمين بولاية سيدي أمير المؤمنين
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد
الحمد لله الذي هدانا لهذا وما كنا لنهتدي لولا أن هدانا الله أما بعد فقد قال الله العظيم في محكم الكتاب الكريم وهو أصدق القائلين وقوله الحق بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إنا ينصركم الله فلا غالب لكم من يقال لكم فمن ذا الذي ينصركم من بعده والله فليقول كال المؤمنين صدق الله العلي العظيم
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
Respected scholars, elders, brothers, sisters, Assalamu alaikum jami'an wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Before I begin today, inshallah, I would like to thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that He has given us this opportunity to remember Him, tabarak wa ta'ala, and to enjoin in the zikr of Muhammad wa al Muhammad.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
For indeed, this is a big grace for us that even during this pandemic, even during this whole situation that is going around in the world and that is occurring in the world, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us the opportunity to remember Him and remember His Ahlul Bayt and still do the Azaa of Hussein and the Azaa of the Ahlul Bayt. There's no greater maqam, no greater rank that we can achieve except that Allah has given us that honor, that we can do the Azaa of Hussein and the Azaa of the Ahlul Bayt. And I would like to thank everybody from the bottom of my heart who came, inshallah, in this afternoon to join with me to remember one of the most mazloom imams. One of the most mazloom imams. All of our imams are mazloom, but this Imam Amir al-Mu'mineen, nobody's can compare to his mazloomiyat. Why? There is a question people ask. Inshallah, before we get to the mathaib, I would like to start with my topic for today. And inshallah, just take a couple minutes of your time. Earlier this year, I had the opportunity of reciting at the Arabia's Islamic Center in California. And the topic I decided to recite there was about hope. Hope in God, hope in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And inshallah, continuing that trend, with the qaleel knowledge that Allah has bestowed upon me, I would like to talk about now we've advanced from hope. Now, we had Laylatul Qadr, we had the days of Laylatul Qadr, we had all these amal. Now we're advancing from the hope. Now we're going to go into how can we trust Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? How can we have that yaqeen in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Because in the ayat I recited in front of you from the Holy Quran, chapter 3, verse 160, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala Himself is saying, now we're talking about trust. What does Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala say? Allah says, if Allah is your helper, no one can defeat you. If Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is your helper, no one can defeat you. And however, if He abandons you, who would help you? If He leaves you, who would help you? And He says the true believers, the true mu'mineen, what do? They believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So you see that trust in God means to rely upon Him, to believe in Him, have yaqeen in Him, 150%, beyond 100%. Why? Because we said that the hope in Allah is knowing that I have done all these dhunub, I've done all these sins, but He is still there. He is still my Khaliq. He is still my Razik, and He will forgive me. That's why He says, now when you have asked for forgiveness, trust in me. And we do this majalis every year by the grace of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in our household. And now inshallah we're doing it through online means. But who are we remembering? We're remembering Amir al-Mu'mineen. And what does he say about trust in God? Amir al-Mu'mineen, this is quoted from Nahj al-Balagha. Amir al-Mu'mineen in Nahj al-Balagha says what? Listen, he says, Amir al-Mu'mineen says, regarding all of your affairs, everything that you do, all of your affairs, do one thing. seek the refuge of your Lord. Go to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And he says, seek it. In what way? Seek it that he's a shelter for you. He's protecting you. You know, like your mothers protect you when you're young. They keep you in a shelter. They shelter you and then they release you. Now go in the world. Allah is doing the same thing to you. Imam Amir al-Mu'mineen alayhi salatu wasalam, Allah. He's telling you the same thing, that have this trust in Allah, oh brothers and sisters. Come to the safe haven. This Imam of yours teaches you trust. That's why I chose the topic for today. Because if you want to look at one man who believed in Allah, look at Amir al-Mu'mineen. Look how he trusted Allah. Look how he never left that Lord of his. There's many things I could say about Amir al-Mu'mineen, but this tongue and these pens, they can't do justice. They can't do justice to the fadila of Amir al-Mu'mineen. This, again, back to trust. Look what he says. Come into the safe haven of Allah and you'll see what happens. And then you see, there's also a hadith from our Imam Ja'far Sadiq. He also says that richness, and he says any maqam and honor that you want, they are only found in one place, in trust of Allah. When you trust in Allah, He'll make you the biggest thing in this world. When you trust in Allah, He'll honor you. The honor of people is nothing. These majalis that we recite, this Azaa that we do, all of you beautiful reciters, and all of us, or all of the zakireen, all of the khutaba, everybody who does zikr of Allah and His Ahlul Bayt, know one thing. What is Imam Ja'far Sadiq telling you? No one can honor you. Only Allah will honor you. And when Allah will honor you, everybody will honor you. They'll look at you that, look, this person is the abd of Allah. He looked at Allah. He found hope through Allah. Now he trusts in his Lord. Sallallahu ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. So you see these two hadiths that are narrated with you, inshallah. And now, before we move to Masai, just 3 things about trust. Last time we talked about hope, 3 things about hope. Now, inshallah, 3 things about trust. What is the reality of trust? What is the haqiqat of trust? What is it? The haqiqat of trust is this, is that, like I said, you put everything in Allah. You know, you leave it to Him. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, I am an abd, and now everything is in your hand. Whatever happens, my taqdeer, my life, my rizq, everything is in your hands. You leave that, then Allah will show you the greatest bounties. And you see that to have such trust, this reality, haqiqat is this, that Allah, I believe in you, and now you take my taqdeer where you want it to go. You take my rizq where you want it to go. And also, you know, some of the people ask, does this mean that all I do is, for example, now I'm going to bring an example for you to explain a little more what I'm trying to say about the reality of trust. Now people would say that, oh, does that mean that, oh, you know, I just keep my trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and I don't do anything? I just sit at home, Ya Allah, give me this, Ya Allah, give me that. And, you know, I'm not going to go work. I'm not going to go outside and, you know, work for what I want from Allah. No, the reality of truth is this. Our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa himself has said in one of the hadiths, he says what? He saw a Bedouin, one of the people of the time of Jahiliyyah, and he goes up to him and the man comes to the Prophet and he says, Ya Muhammad, you know, I have trust in Allah, so I'm going to say, Ya Allah, do my dua and Allah will give me. He says, no. He sees this man and he sees that he's trying to, you know, push his camel to do work. He's like you're making your camel do work. He says, hobble your camel, then trust in Allah. What? Make your camel work, use your camel, then trust in Allah. Wow. He says, do the work and then trust. Don't just sit at home. You know, there was people during the time of the Prophet who thought, you know, we could just, you know, sit in front of the madar and Ya Allah, and we're not going to do any work and Allah will give us. No, we have to put in effort, brothers and sisters. Wow. There's no way that Allah will give you without putting effort. Because one step towards Him, He brings 10 steps back, as all of you know. So inshallah, we understood the reality of truth and we try to make those steps towards it. Now we look at the ranks of truth. There's levels of truth. There's reality. Now there's levels. What are the levels? The level is such that if you look at in faith, there's variety. You know, in Iman, there's variety. There's levels. We have the mu'mineen, we have the muttaqeen, we have the muslimin, levels, varieties. Same thing in trust. You know, all of these levels in Iman, they all have different trust in Allah. What do I mean by this? If you look at the muslimin, for example, the level of a Muslim, who I believe myself as, because muttaqeen, mu'mineen is a very high level to achieve. It takes a long journey to achieve that level. Muslimin is what we are. I call myself that. What is the level of a Muslim? What is the trust they should have in Allah? The trust is that what? Do your ibadah, do your mandatory ibadah, do your fasting, and have trust that through these ibadah, now that Allah has called me a Muslim, I'm gonna put my trust in Allah. That's the rank. And obviously the muttaqi, the mu'mineen, they have much higher ranks in the eyes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Those people are, those who are seen very high in the maqam of Allah. And now you see there's certain advantages to this truth. We talked about the reality, the haqiqah. We talked about the levels, about how the different Muslimin, mu'mineen, muttaqeen, they have different levels. Now we're going to talk about the reality. We're going to talk about the advantages. What are the benefits of having trust? Why should I trust Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? One of the benefits is that man in this life, Allah, one of the beautiful things, if you look at the days of Qadr, if you look at the Amal, one of the beautiful things Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does to you is He hides your sins from people. People don't see what you do. Allah has hid those dhunub. This is the advantage of having trust in God. He hid your dhunub. You trusted in Him, you believed in Him, you had hope in Him. He said, look, everybody will see you as this. I'm going to hide your sins. The world, the alam al-malakut, which is the higher level over there, they see them, but the people here in the alam, in the worldly life, they won't see those dhunub. That's the advantage of having trust in Allah. This is a very important point, because if we have that trust, if we do these amal, if we do these ibadah with the hope that we have trust in Him, then He's going to open many doors for you. Then He's going to give you whatever you want. That's why they say on Laylatul Qadr, and inshallah the topic surrounds all these. If you look at trust in God, Laylatul Qadr, Wafat of Amir al-Mu'mineen, Shahadat of Amir al-Mu'mineen, all these things, they are surrounded around trust in Allah. That's the one thing that we should try to learn. That these Ahlul Bayt of ours, they did not, when people tell you, for the young ones who are listening online, when the people tell you that, why do you believe in, I've said this before, why do you believe in Muhammad wa al-Muhammad? You tell them that, listen, this family of Muhammad, the al-Muhammad, has left me nothing except how to get close to God. That's what they've taught me. Yeah. You say that, don't do wasila, don't do tawassul. This thought has come in my mind, I thought I should. Well, listen, go look at the du'as. Go look at Dua Makarim al-Akhlaq. Go look at Dua Kumail. Go look at Dua Abu Hamza Thamali. What are they saying? Look at Dua Imam Jafar Sadiq. They say, Mawla ya Mawla, you are our Lord, we are nothing. We are up to Dhaif, we are weak. Do you think the Imam is weak? No. The Imam is telling you, oh my follower, listen, this is your maqam. And how do you get to that maqam of not even Ali, the companions of Ali? Is that you do trust. Sallallahu ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. So again, how do we now, to end off inshallah, how do we acquire this trust in God? How do we, we talked about the maqam, we talked about the levels. Now, how do I get that closeness? How do I connect to Allah? How do I trust in Him? That, like I said before, there's advantages. One of the advantages is that, there's people who are poor people, they're paupers. Really, very, very poor people. The advantage, again, coming back to what the advantage in trust is God, these poor people, Allah will take that poor person and make them rich. You've seen many rich people who have become poor. You've seen many wealthy billionaires, trillionaires in this world, and you ask Allah, how is this happening? Well, in one day, brothers and sisters, those millionaires, trillionaires will be nothing. And you'll see that the one who was begging on the door of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will become the biggest person in the eyes of the world. The biggest person in the eyes of the world. Because, why? Because he's coming to his Mawla, he's coming to his Lord, he's coming to his, he's coming to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to tell him that, listen, Ya Allah, I've come to your door. I have nothing in this world, but please, I have you. If I have you, Allah, then I don't need anybody. That is the advantage of the truth. That is what the main goal of truth in this world is. That Allah can change your taqdeer, just like when you hope in Him, He can change it. Just same thing happens when you trust in Him. And now, how do we acquire that trust? There's a couple of hadiths, and we'll move to a little bit of dhikr of al-mu'mineen and the masahib, inshallah. How do we acquire that trust? If you were to ask me, you say, oh, Brother Hasan, you've told us that trust in Allah. You said that believe in Allah, have hope in Allah. Now, how do I acquire that trust? How do you acquire that trust? Is that you keep in mind the verses that Allah has given you, like the verse I mentioned in front of you in the beginning, where Allah also says that, if you believe in me, have hope in me, nobody will forget, don't have hope in anybody else except me. There's that verse. Remember these verses of the Quran. Allah says also in the Holy Quran, Allah loves those who trust Him. You know, Allah loves those who trust Him. Now try to understand that when you go home after you listen to this, sit down and watch the recording again, or look at the ayat yourself in the Quran and think, Allah loves me. You know, Allah is saying, are we capable, if we think about it, are greater scholars than me? I ask myself before I ask you, am I capable of that love? Allah is saying, I love you. Allah is saying, I love that abd who trusts in me. He's saying, you know, that is what love is. So that is the maqam we would like to achieve. Imam Hussein alayhi salatu wassalam, Allah, he said that if calamities of time bite me, so you know, if the problems of the time come after me, he says, do not seek the refuge of the creatures. Do not go after the creatures. If the calamities come after you, don't go after the creatures. Why? Do not ask anybody except God, the distributor of the sustenance, of the rizq. He says, don't ask him. If you live for a long time and you wander in this world from the west to the east, you go from one side to the other side. He says, you will not find anybody who's able to give you happiness or remove your unhappiness. He won't. You won't find one person who will remove that unhappiness. And then he also, Amir al-Mu'mineen alayhi salatu wassalam, Allah, he said that, now inshallah, look at the maqam of Amir al-Mu'mineen. When you want to understand the trust of Allah, go to the Ahlul Bayt. What does he say? He says, I have satisfied myself with that which God has decided for me. I've satisfied myself with what Allah has told me, Allah has given me. You know, I have 100% yaqeen. And he says, I have entrusted my affairs. I have given everything to Allah with my Creator, as He used to treat me charitably in the past. Look at the maqam of Amir al-Mu'mineen. He says, why do I have trust in Him? Because He gave me so much rahmah, so much grace in the past. And then he says, and He will keep on in the rest. He will keep giving me. That's why I have trust in Allah. That He has given me these hands. He has given me these feet. He's given me this tongue. You know, He gave Ali the Dhul-Fiqar. Why? Because Ali had trust in Allah. You know, Ali was the soldier of Allah. Ali was the one who would fight in these battles when everyone would run away. And this is where I wanted to say that strengthen this belief in God, my brothers and sisters, my young ones who are listening, my elders who are listening, strengthen the belief in God and learn about how this life can change just in a moment like that. You know, we're here today, we're gone tomorrow. You know, we're rich today, we're poor tomorrow. We're poor today, we're rich. May Allah increase your rizq, bihaqq Muhammad wa al Muhammad. May He continue to give you the most wealth that you could ever achieve. May He give you health. May He give you every good thing in this world that you all yearn for. And may He never deprive you of any of these things that you don't want to lose, this rizq. May He never deprive you. And inshallah, when you're on the path of Ahlul Bayt and you have this yaqeen and when you have that trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you will never go astray, inshallah. Sallallahu ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. So finally, what is trust then? We talked about trust today. Trust is, to trust in God is to satisfy oneself, to leave yourself. That Allah has said this, it is final, it's done now. I'm done, and to have joy in that decision. Don't think that, oh, Ya Allah, you did this to me, why did you do this to me? No, say, Ya Allah, you gave me this decision, I'm happy now, I'm done. Have joy in it. Whatever He is giving you is good for you. If something you think is good for you, He knows it's bad for you. He's saying, no, this is not what you need. But if you think something is bad for you, He says, no, this is good for you. Take this thing. Have trust in me. Have yaqeen in me. And inshallah, you'll see the benefits. Now, inshallah, before we move to Masai, you see, Amir al-Mu'mineen, one thing I wanted to say, inshallah, and they say this is, you know, delivering that haqq of Amir al-Mu'mineen. What is Amir al-Mu'mineen when you think about him? Amir al-Mu'mineen is one of, our scholars say, is one of the most antithetical human beings. What does that mean? Antithetical. What does it mean? It means to have two complete opposite qualities in the same abd of Allah. You know, complete opposite. In one turn, you'll see the Jalal of Ali, and in one turn, you'll see that Ali is on the Musalla praying. You see Ali is weeping. Ali has arrows in his feet, and he's weeping on the Musalla. That, Ya Allah, accept this ibadat of mine. Ya Allah, accept this war that I just fought in. Accept this strike of mine. Ali alayhi salatu wassalam did not do anything except Allah wanted him to do it. Ali is, you know, when we look at the maqam of Amir al-Mu'mineen, these days have passed, brothers and sisters. Now it's the 22nd, the night of Laylatul Qadr is gonna one of the nights of Laylatul Qadr is going to be befalling upon you. I ask you to pray and keep me and my family in your du'as, inshallah, as I will with yours. That during these days, remember Amir al-Mu'mineen. Remember this antithetical human being that had two qualities and how he trusted in Allah and Allah gave him everything. Inshallah. Sallallahu salawat ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. We talked about Amir al-Mu'mineen and how he trusted in Allah. And you know what is one thing? If you ask me and you ask many of our great scholars, when you go to the book of the Hadith, if you look at one thing that Imam wanted, Amir al-Mu'mineen wanted, what was it? You know, he trusted in Allah. He gave everything to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But the Imam has a right, you know, he says, let me ask something from you, Allah. And what is that? What does he ask? He says that martyrdom is the best way to depart this world. He says Shahadat. He says achieving martyrdom, and he swears, I swear by this. He says, I swear by this, that all of the trust that I had in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, martyrdom, shahada is the best thing. He says that I, Ali ibn Abi Talib, I would prefer 1,000 wounds of this sword in the way of Allah than disobey him and die in my bed. He says, strike as many darbat like as you would like on my head. I prefer that more than dying on the bed and not disbelieving in you, Ya Allah. What does he say? He says, why did I have trust in Allah? This is not Messiah, but this will make you weep. Why did I have trust in Allah? Why did I believe in him? He said, he's like, I did not believe in him because I wanted Jannah. I did not believe in him because I was scared of the Azab and Nar. Those are different type of maqams. He said, I believed in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala because he is worthy of being worshipped. He is the supreme Lord who is being worthy of being worshipped. My dear brothers and sisters, I thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala once again that he gave us this opportunity to, put down the fash Azaa, to remember the family of Al Muhammad, and to remember Amir al-Mu'mineen on this 21st day now of Ramadan. Inshallah, you learned anything from this qaleel ibadat about trust in Allah from our hadith and the Quran that we mentioned. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala continue to increase our knowledge, and we start our masa'ib with the dua of Rabbi zidni ilman wa amalan wa imanan wa al-hikmah bis salihin. Sallallahu ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. Allah.
Salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi rajiun. وقال الإمام الأمير المؤمنين والله فزت برب الكعبة. My dear brothers and sisters, close your eyes. It might be day where you are, it might be night, but remember one thing, that this adha that you do, remember one Imam on the last day we have. Who is this Imam? What did we just recite in the Musibah? When the cry comes, when the Mal'oon ibn Mal'oon strike falls upon the head of Amir al-Mu'mineen, one cry came out. We just talked about trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Look at this abd of Allah. What does he say? He says, Fustu bi Rabbil Kaaba. By the Lord of the world, Kaaba, I have been successful. My brothers and sisters, as you weep tonight and as you wept yesterday and you do the adha right now, keep one thing in your mind. Especially, my message right now is to those who have kids in their house, who have young daughters in their house, who have young sons in your house. Remember one bibi, remember one woman tonight, and during the nights of Azaa Ali, who are we remembering, you might ask me? Remember, there is one woman, one bibi. What is her title? Her title is al-Masa'ib. What does it mean by al-Masa'ib? Al-Masa'ib means the mother of calamities. Oh, Zainab, we ask you, Salamullah alayhi, why have you been given this title? You see that the bibi has been given this title because at a tender age, she lost her mother Zahra. And now, as she's getting older, she loses her trust that she has. She loses her Baba Ali. And you see, I told, keep these kids close to your heart and hug them and tell them, Ya Allah, and ask Allah that keep these kids on the path of Al Muhammad. You see that the musibah of Amir al-Mu'mineen will break your heart. What happens now? Inshallah, we'll recite the musibah of the 19th of Ramadan when Amir al-Mu'mineen is getting ready to leave and he's getting ready to go to that mihrab where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is inviting him. What happens, my dear brothers and sisters? The Ravi narrates, the narration goes as such, that Amir al-Mu'mineen the whole night, you were spending the whole night in the Amal of Laylatul Qadr. Amir al-Mu'mineen the whole night, he is saying one thing, Ya ayyuhat dunya, oh the world, ghurri ghairi, you can deceive the others, you will never deceive Ali. Ya ayyuhat dunya, you will never deceive Ali. He holds on to his beard and he keeps reciting this phrase. Yeah. And now you see that Imam himself, he feels that something is about to happen. This is the last day. He remembers in the hadith say that he says to his family members that this is the day that your grandfather has told me about. This is the day where Ali will no longer be with you. Now imagine, remember, I said if you have kids, what happens? Now all the daughters come to Amir al-Mu'mineen. They say, Baba, Baba, where are you going? Do not leave us, Baba. The Imam says, oh my daughters, now is the time for Ali to leave. Ali starts going. The hadith say, the riwayah says that, the animals of that time, even the ducks, the animals, the birds of that time, when Ali says, it's time for me to leave, those animals, they would surround your holy Imam. Close your eyes and think about that manzar. Think about that moment. They all surround him. And they're making noises, Allahu Akbar. Bibi Kulthum Salamullah alayh asks her father, Ya Ali, Ya Baba, what is this manzar? What is this scene? What is happening? He replies, my brothers and sisters, he says, Ya Kulthum, he says, Innahunna dawahi. They are doing my noha, and they are doing my adha. They know that Amir al-Mu'mineen will no longer be with them. Now the Imam goes towards the mihrab, goes towards the Masjid al-Kufa. Allahu Akbar. These animals are following him. Inshallah, just a few moments in your Zahmat is tamam. Now the animals are following him. The Imam now enters the mihrab on the 19th of Ramadan. He enters and what happens? Very ajib manzar. He sees that the Mal'oon ibn Muljam is laying on his stomach. The great scholar, Mullah Ali Azaa narrates these Masahib in Urdu and he says it is as if the Imam has said, I have come here to do my work, O Mal'oon. Why don't you get up and do your work? Why don't you get up and do what you have come to do? Right. The Imam gives him a little touch and he says, Ya Ibn Muljam, rise from your sleep. He goes towards the mihrab. The hadith say that the Imam a.s. tells the muazzin, usually the muazzin would do the adhan. Today he says, Ya muazzin, Ali will do the adhan. You step aside, Ali will do the adhan. Ali starts the adhan. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. He praises Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He says, Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. He says, there's no God but Allah. Ali finishes the adhan. Ya Allah, now he comes. Now, my brothers and sisters, the moments are coming where Ali will no longer be with you. He goes towards the mihrab. Now Ibn Muljam has woken up from his sleep. He is coming after Imam Ali and he stands right behind him. The hadith say what? Now Imam is starting his salah. And you see that the cry comes up when he comes up from his second sajda. The dharb falls on his head. And the cry comes. The cry comes from where? It comes from the arsh of Allah. What was the cry when the zarb of Ibn Muljam hit him? The cry was, Allah, Allah, tahaddamat wallah, tahaddamat wallah, arkan al-huda. تهدمت والله أركان الهدى قتل علي بن المرتضى قتل ابن أم المصطفى Allah تهدمت والله. Jibreel says the arkan of huda, the pillars of guidance have been shattered.
You ask me what Amir al-Mu'mineen is. This is Amir al-Mu'mineen. The pillars of guidance have been shattered. Allahu Akbar. The cry comes from Jibreel. Allah tahaddamat wallah arkan al-huda kutila ibn al-Mustafa. The brother, not anything else. Look what Allah says. Who is Ali? Ali is the brother of Mustafa. The brother of the Prophet has died today. And who killed him? Who killed this Imam? Allah. Why do we send lanat on Abu Abdullah's killers? Why do we send lanat on Amir al-Mu'mineen's killers? Why? Because Allah is telling you who killed this Imam. Qatalatu ashkal ashkiya. The one who killed him was the one who was ashkal ashkiya. Now you see the Imam, the dharb has cut his head. Imagine now the blood is pouring down your holy Imam's eyes, and he's sitting there and he's saying, Fustu wa Rabbil Kaaba. Ya Allah, I've achieved what I wanted to achieve. Now the hadith say that the whole city of Kufa is in a panic. As they say in Urdu, kohram is what the word is they use. That it's a whole panic. Nobody knows what's going on. The orphans, I'll land here inshallah. The orphans, imagine the orphans. What do you call Amir al-Mu'mineen? You call him, one of the titles is the father of the orphans, the one who would come to the orphans and feed them with his hands. Allahu Akbar. Now Amir al-Mu'mineen is on his musalla in the Masjid of Kufa, and the orphans are weeping. Everybody is weeping. You know one interesting thing Amir al-Mu'mineen did, which is very shocking. He does this thing. He takes his sons and he tells them before he goes to the Masjid of Kufa that, oh Hassan, oh Hussein, oh Abbas, you go guard the doors of Kufa. You go and hold on to the doors of Kufa. Do not come near the Masjid of Kufa. Ya Allah, I ask you today, in the year 2020, why did you send Abbas to the doors of Kufa? Why was he not allowed to come into the Masjid of Kufa? Because Amir al-Mu'mineen knows that the ghazab and the power of Abbas would wipe out the whole city of Kufa. He said, Abbas, go to the door of Kufa. Do not come to the masjid. Now you see that the Imam is there. Imam al-Hassan, you know all of the riwayah. He finishes the salah. He is weeping. Imam Ayatollah Khamenei gives this musibah. He says that. He tells Imam Hassan when he is finishing the salah, when he is done, he says, Ya Hassan, do not cry, oh son. He says, Beta Hassan, today is not the day to cry. He says, Beta Hussein, today is not the day to cry. Now remember what I just said. He said, Abbas, go to the doors of Kufa. This is why, brothers and sisters, when he tells Hussein, don't cry, he had patience. When he tells Hassan, don't cry, he has patience. When he tells Abbas, don't cry, he has patience. But he sent all of these sons of his to the doors because there is two bibis. As we said, there is two bibis in that house who cannot bardash, who cannot handle the pain of the loss of Ali. He says now when they go towards the house, he says, oh, my followers, cry a little less. I don't want Zainab bin Kulthum to hear the cries. Allahu Akbar. And you see that the body of Ali comes towards the house. You know the riwayah. Do you know how, if I were to ask my young ones, do you know how much poison was put inside that sword? Just think about this point when you go home also. That the amount of poison was to wipe out the city of Kufa, to get rid of all of Kufa. Imagine now, your Imam has all that poison inside of him, and he is on his deathbed. And the Tabib said that how can we prolong the life of Ali? The family asks, any kids who would like to see their Baba for a couple of more nights? The Tabib says that bring milk. Give Ali milk, give Ali leban, give him yogurt. So now, inshallah, we'll end the Mosaic here, it'll break your heart. They said, give Ali milk and give Ali leban. Ya Allah, the one who gave food to all of Kufa. When this cry came out, there were a couple of little hands that would come under the door of Ali. They would knock on the door of Ali and they would say, Ya Ali, Ya Amir al-Mu'mineen, we are here tonight and we are not full. We have brought the milk to your door. They would say, Ya Ali, accept this milk from us. You fed us for all these years. And the yatim of Ali have come to give him milk. And you see now, Ali is remembering all of his children. He gives everybody to everybody's hand. He says, come to the bay'ah of Hassan. Hussein, do the bay'ah of Hassan. Zainab, do the bay'ah of Hassan. He tells everybody. And one ajib manzar, al-Baneen is standing in the back. And it's a very ajib manzar. He says, she says, Ya Mawla, you gave everybody's hand to everybody. But what about my Abbas? You didn't give my Abbas to anybody. Amir al-Mu'mineen. At this moment, the Urdu poet has a very beautiful ashar that he says to capture this moment. He says, ro ro ke Ali kyun lete hain Zainab ka naam musalle par, kya yaad Ali ko aaya hai Bazaar Sham musalle par. He leaves Abbas for this moment that he wants to tell him, Abbas, come and your Hussein's. Hussein is your Aka. Hussein is your Mawla, and you will look after Zainab. He kisses the bazu of Zainab. He kisses the neck of Zainab, and he says, Abbas, this is who he will protect. We say, Ya Amir al-Mu'mineen, come to the Maidan of Karbala. Your Hussein is lying on the grounds of Karbala. Ya Ali, when you left this world, you said to the Maloon ibn Maloon, Dalanat ibn Dalanat, what did you say? Do not harm my family. Look at the body of Abu Abdullah on the lands of Karbala. Look at the hijab of Zainab. It is on the spear. Look at the bazu of Abbas. It is on the grounds of Nainava. Tonight in the streets of Kufa, my dear brothers and sisters, is the cry of Ali, hi Ali, Ya Ali, Ya Ali, inna lillah wa inna ilayhi raji'un. Razan bi qaza wa taslimat bi amri Ma'atam Hussein. Ya Hussein, Ya Hussein. Ya Ali, 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 Ali,
لوگوں یہ جنازہ ہے اسلام کے بانی کا آغاز ہو رہا ہے کربل کی کہانی کا آغاز ہو رہا ہے کربل کی کہانی کا آغاز ہو رہا ہے ماشاءاللہ کربل کی کہانی کا لوگوں یہ جنازہ ہے اسلام کے بانی کا آغاز ہو رہا ہے کربل کی کہانی کا آغاز ہو رہا ہے کربل کی کہانی کا بی بی نے کہا بابا کربل میں چلے آنا بی بی نے کہا بابا کربل میں چلے آنا منظر میں دکھاؤں گی اکبر کی جوانی کا لوگوں یہ جنازہ ہے اسلام کے بانی کا آغاز ہو رہا ہے کربل کی کہانی کا آغاز ہو رہا ہے کربل کی کہانی کا. لوگوں یہ جنازہ ہے اسلام کے بانے کا. آغاز ہو رہا ہے کربل کی کہانی کا. آغاز ہو رہا ہے کربل کی کہانی کا. کٹ جائیں گے بازو بھی عباس باوفا کے. کٹ جائیں گے بازو بھی عباس باوفا کے. تیروں سے ہوگا چلنے مشقی زبان کا. لوگوں یہ جنازہ ہے اسلام کے بانے کا. آغاز ہو رہا ہے کربل کی جوانی کا. آغاز ہو رہا ہے کربل کی کہانی کا. آغاز ہو رہا ہے کربل کی کہانی کا. بکھرے گا کربلا میں قاسم کے سر کا صحرا. بکھرے گا کربلا میں قاسم کے سر کا صحرا. خوشیاں سمیٹ لے گا منظر وہ ویرانے کا. لوگوں یہ جنازہ ہے اسلام کے بانی کا. آغاز ہو رہا ہے کربل کی کہانی کا. آغاز ہو رہا ہے کربل کی کہانی کا. آغاز ہو رہا ہے کربل کی کہانی کا. لوگوں یہ جنازہ ہے اسلام کے بانی کا. آغاز ہو رہا ہے کربل کی کہانی کا. آغاز ہو رہا ہے کربل کی کہانی کا. محمد وآل محمد صلوات. صلی علی محمد وآل محمد. یا حسین یا حسین یا حسین یا حسین یا حسین یا حسین یا حسین. یہ جنازہ ہے علی کا شاہ خیبر گیر کا. یہ جنازہ ہے علی کا. یہ جنازہ ہے علی کا شاہ خیبر گیر کا. یہ جنازہ ہے علی کا. یہ جنازہ ہے علی کا شاہ خیبر گیر کا. یہ جنازہ ہے علی کا. یہ جنازہ ہے علی کا شاہ خیبر گیر کا. یہ جنازہ ہے علی کا. آج بابا مر گیا ہے شبر و شبیر کا. یہ جنازہ ہے علی کا. یہ جنازہ ہے علی کا شاہ خیبر گیر کا. یہ جنازہ ہے علی کا. فاطمہ زہرا کے مرقد سے صدا آنے لگی. فاطمہ زہرا کے مرقد سے صدا آنے لگی. ہر صدا آنے لگی. یہ مسائل رہ گیا تھا کیا میری تقدیر کا. یہ جنازہ ہے علی کا. یہ جنازہ ہے علی کا شاہ خیبر گیر کا یہ جنازہ ہے علی کا. کیوں چلائی تیغ حیدر پر بنے ملزم بتا, کیوں چلائی تیغ حیدر پر بنے ملزم بتا, اے بنے ملزم بتا. قتل قرآن کر دیا کاٹا گلا تفسیر کا یہ جنازہ ہے علی کا, یہ جنازہ ہے علی کا. شاہ خیبر گیر کا یہ جنازہ ہے علی کا. یا رسول اللہ یہ جبریل نے رو کر کہا, یا رسول اللہ یہ جبریل نے رو کر کہا, ہائے رو کر کہا. ایک حلقہ اور ٹوٹا نور کی زنجیر کا یہ جنازہ ہے علی کا, یہ جنازہ ہے علی کا. شاہ خیبر گیر کا یہ جنازہ ہے علی کا. غم علی کی بیٹیوں کے پھر سے تازہ ہو گئے, غم علی کی بیٹیوں کے پھر سے تازہ ہو گئے, ہائے تازہ ہو گئے. غم کی بھولی کہاں تھی مادر دلگیر کا یہ جنازہ ہے علی کا, یہ جنازہ ہے علی کا. شاہ خیبر گیر کا یہ جنازہ ہے. نظر میں جانے علی کو کیا خیال آتا رہا, نظر میں جانے علی کو کیا خیال آتا رہا, خیال آتا رہا. منہ کبھی زینب کا دیکھا اور کبھی شبیر کا یہ جنازہ ہے علی کا, یہ جنازہ ہے علی کا. شاہ خیبر گیر کا یہ جنازہ ہے علی کا. چھوٹے سے عباس بھی روتے ہیں سر کو پیٹ کر, چھوٹے سے عباس بھی روتے ہیں سر کو پیٹ کر, ہائے سر کو پیٹ کر. بچپنا عباس کا اور زخم دل پہ تیر کا یہ جنازہ ہے علی کا, یہ جنازہ ہے علی کا. شاہ خیبر گیر کا یہ جنازہ ہے علی کا. بیٹیوں کو دیکھتے ہیں اور روتے ہیں علی, بیٹیوں کو دیکھتے ہیں اور روتے ہیں علی, ہائے روتے ہیں علی. ہائے وہ ظالم تصور شام کی تشہیر کا یہ جنازہ ہے علی کا, یہ جنازہ ہے علی کا. شاہ خیبر گیر کا یہ جنازہ ہے علی کا. باپ کی میت سے زینب کال پٹنا بار بار, باپ کی میت سے زینب کال پٹنا بار بار, حل پٹنا بار بار. دل ہلا دیتا تھا رونا شاہ کی ہمشیر کا یہ جنازہ ہے علی کا. باپ کی میت سے زینب کال پٹنا बार बाप की मैया से रहना काल पटना बार बार है लिपटना बार बार दिल हिला देता था रोना शाह की हमशीर का ये जनाजा है अली का ये जनाजा है अली का शाह खैबर गिर का ये जनाजा है अली 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 का और मोहम्मद वाले मोहम्मद
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. السلام عليك يا أبا عبد الله. السلام عليك يا ابن رسول الله. السلام عليك يا ابن فاطمة الزهراء. السلام عليك يا ابن أمير المؤمنين. السلام عليك يا أبا الفضل العباس ابن أمير المؤمنين. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. السلام عليك يا غريب الغرباء. السلام عليك يا معين الضعفاء والفقراء. السلام عليك يا علي بن موسى الرضا. كن شفيعنا وشفيع والدينا في يوم الجزاء ورحمة الله وبركاته. السلام عليك يا مولاي يا صاحب العصر والزمان. السلام عليك يا شريك القرآن. السلام عليك يا إمامنا وإمام الإنس والجان. أجل الله تعالى فرجه وسهل الله تعالى مخرجك وظهورك ورحمة الله وبركاته.
اللہ سلامت رہیے بھائی، ماشاء اللہ سلامت رہیے.